I read the play by Chekhov called Three Sisters. This is like a second my serious reading of the Chekhov's play, the first of Uncle Vanya. And I really enjoyed Uncle Vanya, but it's a little bit disappointing because it didn't have that grandiose themes there. But in the Three Sisters, I really liked it, and I really loved the way the Chekhovs wrote this particular play around these three beautiful sisters, I would say. And Three Sisters, I think parents passed away, and they live alone with their brother Andre. The oldest daughter is Olga, and the middle one is Masha, and young one is Irina. Young one is probably about 18 years old, very young. The oldest one maybe about 30 to 35 maybe. The oldest one, Olga, is I think a school teacher or schoolmaster or whatever, and dedicated herself to work as a teacher. And she never married, she's single. The middle one, Masha, is the one who married very early on, and but not happy with her marriage. So youngest one, Irina, is like a dreamer who kind of dreaming of going to Moscow someday. I think they used to live in Moscow when they were younger, but their father transferred to this provincial town in Russia, and so ever since then they are kind of dreaming going back to Russia someday or something. So Irina is a very dreamer, and feeling like a very ambitious and having a good life in Moscow or whatever. And so those three girls, three women, lived with Andre. Andre is married with this the woman who is very practical. Those three sisters are very intellectual and more or less like a very good-hearted, very considerate to the other people, and very nice people there, and very educated and everything. But this Andre's wife turned out to be very practical, and so those three sisters don't like her as much. But Andre also, fell in love with this woman. However, lately he is not that happy because this wife would not understand him or anything. Andre also dreamed of becoming like a professor in Moscow, and he is trying to be that way, but it turns out he didn't make it, more or less, because of his maybe mediocrity. But all the sisters also kind of respect him, and at the same time, got disappointed because he didn't become a professor. And so it's all intellectual families, and all the conversation is very typical of an intellectual family, talking about all the cultural things and books and all these things there. And so that's where it stands. But slowly, I think those life all mixed with the disappointment, unhappiness, and hoping to be happy, and tremendous this happiness in the very beginning, first act, because the weather is so nice and everything is so beautiful around them, and so they're so happy. But at the same time, one by one, they kind of crumble because all those circumstances. Men visit that particular house quite often because the father was like a commander of this military unit in Russia, and so all these young soldiers visit and fall in love with this, some of the three sisters, I would say, and so it is interesting to see, their current life is probably empty, especially the middle one. Middle one is not happy with current marriage, and but she meets this very dashing young soldier, or not young, middle-aged soldier, come to visit, and he, kind of intelligent, the middle-aged man, and she fell in love with him in front of her own husband, and husband kind of noticed, and but he couldn't do anything. He is powerless, and so kind of let it go or whatever. And but this dashing middle-aged man has also his very unfortunate family life, where his wife has been committing suicide because she wasn't happy in the past, and now so he is visiting their house and get this message from home that his wife committed suicide again, and so he has to go back to his family. And so there was things going on, and so Masha was when she was talking to this guy, she seems to be very uplifted and dreamed about getting together with him or something like that, but that never happens, right, because of the circumstances. Older one also kind of attracted to this guy, but she is already resigned to be a school mistress and dedicated herself to work. And the young one has this tremendous dream of going to Moscow and having a wonderful life there, but she is a beautiful girl, and she has many guys courting her, but none of them are attracted to her attention, and I think she doesn't feel that she should get married, but this particular one called him, and so she asked her to get married with him, and she kind of reluctantly maybe it's time to get married, even though I don't necessarily in love with him, but maybe it's okay, I should get married and have a dear decent life. And but toward the end, something happened, drastic happened, and that would not happen either. So it is kind of all the dreams, all the hopes crashed at the end. But at the end, they, three sisters get together and yeah, but life is like that, but we have to move on. We have to live. We have to make a living as happy as we can. They can, and so very positive. As always, Chekhov's play is always like at the end. There is this message. Yeah, the life is very, very hard for anyone, but you have to survive. You have to live, and that's the same thing as Vanya. And also, I'm right now reading the Cherry Orchard, and that's going to be next review for me. But Cherry Orchard the same way. The life is hard, but toward the end, everybody kind of settle to live again. Trying to live and continuously live. So that's a great message for Chekhov's play, and I think this Three Sisters is, excellent in doing that, and especially the attractiveness is this three beautiful women living in this particular household, which is kind of a crumbling, but still, very, very strong-willed and strong, ideal, very intellectual, and very attractive type of personalities there. And so I think that's one of the reasons that all the men come to this house after their father died and mother is already gone. And so they come to visit them for occasion, for the party or for the banquet or whatever. So there's this attractive Three Sisters family, and so that particular thing is, as a reader of the particular play, is also very attractive, to read those things. And for one thing, life is hard, and that everybody's life is hard, and but there's still this hope that they could be happy, even the hardship of that life. So yeah, so I would say, there are lots and lots of characters in that particular play, and I saw after reading the play, I looked for the good YouTube play movies, and I found a couple of those, and I saw one, and yeah, and then I saw another one who is the Geraldine Page, Kim Hunter, Sandy Dennis. They're playing those Three Sisters. It's an excellent adaptation of the Three Sisters. Probably 1960s, 1970s. I don't know when exactly that one shot. So I would put the description that is here, but I recommend that you watch this. So after reading the play, and I watched that, and it was so enjoyable. Yeah, really watching the real play, I think, is the way to go. The reading play, and I have been promoting the particular thing. Of course, you don't miss anything. You don't miss any conversation. You don't miss any words. So reading play is excellent, but seeing the acting of the actresses and actors on the stage is tremendous. Your image, your vision kind of change, because you have your limited, your creative image there, but when you see the real play, almost you kind of wow, it's so different. The image of this particular Irina, for example, is so different from the one that I saw in the play. I read in the play. So yeah, it is kind of interesting. I think it's something to do with the actor's ability to those skills. I think it is very, very interesting to see the real play there. So now I love the Three Sisters, and I saw a couple of those movies and actual video of the play on the stage. So now I'm reading the three J Orchard, which seems to be very, very interesting and very nice. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think the way that I do, I think it's reading play first is a very, very good introduction, because you get, without knowing anything, you get this image of the particular play, that you have your own frugal imagination there. But I think the actual play kind of enforce the particular image of that you see in front of you. And acting, also acting, the great actors is very, very important. If you see the local, productions of those play, but still good there. But if you see the great actor by great actors, I think that's something that I really, really enjoy. So yeah, I really like to own those video, and I looked for them. But there's, those movies available there, but not the DVDs available. So it's too bad. I think not so many people are not interested in, selling those old TV productions or movie production of the great plays. But I really like that, and I would strongly recommend. Okay.